I mean, thanks. I think there are quite a number of factors, that sort of pose challenges to access to finance for sports development in general. Some are more obvious than the others. I would say one of which is there is actually a lack of transparency and accountability within some of our sports organizations, in the sense that, a lot of investors usually don't feel comfortable lending to the sports organization because they haven't seen that they've done the work required to have strong governance frameworks to be able to administer the capital that they receive, right, from the banks or from financial institutions in general, and plow it towards the much needed purpose for which it was given. So that's one. Another big issue would be regulatory challenges or regulatory risk. So because of the fact that sports development generally, is a long game because it requires a lot of capital and patient capital, to be very specific. Because of that, there are the challenges where what if there is a change in regulation mid-year, the investment period. So you have a 10-year investment period and something changes on year five. The investors are then worried that they're able to get their money back at the end of the 10th year as they had originally planned or sort of done their revenue forecast for that company. Another one is just the general absence of sustainable finance products that are geared specifically towards the sports industry. We see lots of finance products for other industries. The oil and gas seem pretty taken care of because for them, I mean, first of all, their revenues are USD denominated, right? So there are a lot of products and there's a lot of funding that usually goes into oil and gas assets, right? But for sports development in general, and for sports even also being the largest segment of the creative industry, there doesn't seem to be those products that have been developed by the banks, in conjunction with sports organizations. So there needs to really be that clarion call and that visit and that coming together of these relevant participants to say, hey, we need to start to create products that would specifically help the sports development, create funds, set up funds, where monies from HNIs, institutional investors, can be deposited in there and just be used to just develop the sports industry in Nigeria in general. So those will be some of, I think, the initial weaknesses that I sort of see and that I've seen, working on different transactions.